Hi, I'm Doug.
And I'm Tom.
This is my dad, and this is my 91 Firebird. I picked this up a little over 10 years ago for around $2,000. Couldn't really afford it at the time, didn't even have a garage, but I really liked it. I wanted a chance to work on it. Now I've got a garage, we've got time, so why don't you join us while we fumble through getting this thing running and working and having fun. Well, it's already running.
It's running and drivable, so we can have fun in it. And today we're going to start by replacing the thermostat to a little cooler running thermostat. And then we've got a bunch of other projects planned just to make it look a little bit better.
So come on and join us and we'll have some fun. Before we go any further, I want to remind everybody watching that Tom and I are not ASE certified mechanics. Mistakes will be made. Hey, we're just a couple of guys having a good time working on an old car. With that in mind, if we do make a mistake, we hope that you can learn from it and avoid making that mistake yourself. So with that in mind, let's dive right in and tear into this old bird.
Well, we have our 1991 Pontiac Firebird here with a 5-liter V8 in it. And we're going to change out the thermostat. The stock thermostat is a 195 and we're going to change it down to a 180 for the summertime. And we don't drive this car in the winter, so we won't need a 195 for the heater. And we had a 1984 Corvette and we changed out the thermostat in that to a little cooler thermostat, and we like the way it operated in traffic a lot better. So that's why we're going to do this. Today all we're going to need is we're going to need a 9/16 socket, and then we have a hose clamp to clamp off the upper radiator hose. Then we have a channel lock to take off the hose clamp, and then we have the thermostat with a gasket and some gasket sealer. The thermostat is easy to get to on these V8s because it's right up on top here under this little domed housing. There's only 2 bolts that hold it on, and so it's very easy access. Okay, so first we're going to put the hose clamp on, and we're going to do this in this direction here. So we just squeeze it, and then the retainer just pulls back on it, clamps it off. Then we're going to take the channel lock and bring our hose clamp back. Like so, and then we'll pull the hose off. First I'm going to put a rag underneath the hose, and then we're going to pull the hose off. Okay, we didn't even drip any antifreeze, so we're good there. And we're going to just hook the hose over here out of the way. Then we take our 9/16 socket, there we go, this one wasn't too tight. Okay, so we'll set that right here. And then we'll pay attention because on some cars the bolts are different lengths. I'm not sure what we're into here. And it looks like this thermostat has been changed before, but Doug, you've owned this car for how long?
About 10 years. A little more actually, 12 years now that I think about it. I do not recall changing it, but I did bring it in for service for this problem.
They probably changed it to just a new thermostat, but the original temperature. Okay, it looks like our bolts are the same. So we got them both there. Then the housing will lift off. There we go, just like that. There it is. So we'll clean all this off, and we have a new gasket. And then here's our thermostat right in here. And there's our old gasket. So we'll dip the rag in there and clean that off, or get that down a little bit. Normally we take a turkey baster, which we didn't bring with us today. And then we're going to clean the bottom of the housing here, and we're going to clean this and put our gasket on. I like to put a little gasket cement in there. Okay, so on the thermostat, on my left is the thermostat that just came out, and you can see that's the stock 195, and then if you can read it, this one is the 180 in my right hand, which is the new one. So now I'm just scraping the surface to get it smooth and clean. Then we'll dry it off. I'll hit it with just a little bit of sandpaper. Then we'll get a good seal. Okay, so when you're finished sanding, make sure you wipe it out, get any dust out of there. And you can see we got it cleaned up nicely. And then on the top of the manifold, it cleaned up extremely nice. Now we're going to get our gasket, and we have to punch out the holes in the gasket. They just pop out like that, of course. And then we're going to put a little bit of gasket sealer on the gasket, put it in place. And then the one side already has the adhesive on it. That's going to go down. Okay, now, you don't have to do this, but I like to use a little bit of gasket cement because I've had enough times where for whatever reason it could leak. So we're just going to put a little bit around here. Okay, now we're going to drop our thermostat in. Okay, double check. It's our 180.
Hold on. Show it to
Upside
me.
down.
There we go. Okay. We're nothing if not thorough. Short-sighted but thorough.
I goofed up. I dropped the thermostat in first.
Oh.
Put the gasket on. There. That's why I'm not an expert yet. Okay, now we're going to put our little housing on top. Okay, we cleaned that off. We wiped it out. So it's going to go like that. And we got our bolts. Okay, snug it up on one side. Just gently snug it up on the other, then go back and firm it up. And it doesn't have to be super tight. There are torque specs if you want to do that. Okay, we're on. Now we're going to take our radiator hose, pop it back on, like so. I'm going to remove my clamp because I know there's no water in it. Then we're going to take our channel locks, put the hose clamp back up. And we are good to go. Now you want to run the car a little bit and see how the heat gauge is, and then you may have to top off your radiator, and then I would check it after driving it a few miles too. But don't open the radiator when it's hot. Okay, so now Doug's going to fire up the engine. We're going to let it run for just a little bit, and then on our next episode we're going to show you how to change the gas struts that hold up the hood and hold up the tail.
You got keys, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, light her up. You're right there. Let's go.
I don't have them on me.
Yeah, here, catch.
Hey, I can catch.
There we go.
Okay. Make sure that's clear of everything.
So what are we going to do next?
Our gas struts that hold up the hood have become weak. So on the next episode we're going to just put some new struts in. On this hood there's one on each side, and then we'll put new struts in on the lift gate in the back.
That's some heavy glass right there.